All right, here we go. This is the passenger side of a 99 VW Beetle. And I've done a previous video, which you'll find in my channel, on the driver's side, which is the left in America. That one I want to say is more difficult than this one. And I haven't even done this one yet. I'm just thinking because of the location of the inner flange bolts that I have to get to, it's easier. So let's get on without further ado. First you need to get this off. And I find this little pick tool is the best thing to do. You just pull the edge out, get your fingers underneath, work them round, and it should pop off. And there you are, the Greek pop off. Next, we need to remove the wheel. Grabbing one's trusty airline, trusty, and take the wheel off. Uh-oh, hang on, rewind, I don't have my little tray. Got to have the little tray. Keeps shit together, stops you forgetting things, stops you losing things. Well, it doesn't actually stop you losing things, it just means they're lost in one place, as opposed to lost in space. And those of you that have one of these lovely little guns, when you put the lug nuts back on, don't just use the gun, torque them correctly. Using the gun is what these tyre places do. I very much doubt they have them preset to the correct torque, but we don't do that here. Right, I am going to take off the caliper, I'm going to take off the rotor. You don't have to do that. I'm doing it because I want to make this lighter, because as I mentioned in my previous video, I have a shoulder injury that I'm recovering from, so I need to make this as light as possible. First thing I've got to do though is bring this down a notch, because it's just a little too high and awkward for me to work on. So let me get that done. Give me 1 second. Right, let's get this caliper off. Now there are little rubber caps on the back that you have to pull out. And sometimes they're a little stuck. You get your flat blade screwdriver. Let me see if I can. And you just catch it on the edge and push. And that gets it out. See? Nice and simple. Now what we need is it's an Allen key, or an Allen socket, whatever, no, not a socket, wrench, whatever you call it. It's a 7mm. Stick it in the hole, put some hair around it, you'll get it straight in. Loosen that a little bit. Do the same on the bottom. Now, before we go any further, grab your trusty G-clamp, place it on the back here, getting it central, and then, whoops, holding it central on the pad there, wind it up. And what this does when you wind this up, it squeezes the piston back into its little bore, and it gets the brake pads away from the rotor. My light just died. No piss. So I have to get another light. Okay, that's it. You don't need to do a lot unless you're replacing the pads, of course. Excuse me, let me get a light. As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by a light, now we need to, I've squeezed this up, so now we need to remove these pins. And whilst you've got these pins out, give them a bit of a clean. Helps the caliper move backwards and forwards nicely, which it needs to do. You may want to fast forward through this bit because it's just me undoing things. Yes, I could fast forward for you, but you're capable. Okay, that's that one out. And that's that one out. Now, I like to grab myself a piece of rope and put it around the shock absorber. Some people prefer the bungee. I prefer the rope. And I'm going to put my caliper that side to keep it out of my way. So there's one of the pins there. Needles and pins. Oh, this other one doesn't seem to be all the way out. Let's give it a little tweaky more. Oh, it's out. It was just fucking with me. Yeah, and you see there's crap on the end there, so that's what you want to clean off before it goes back in. Now, there she goes. Let's move this light out of the way. And thread this through here. Oh, there we go, that was caught there. And just hang her up out of the way. So I just haul it up out the way, you see. So I'm a bit slow, guys. This bloody arm is... Oh, fuck. Gotta be careful. Got to be careful. Mustn't injure my arm any further. Stretching it in places I shouldn't. I've got to stop that. Fortunately, it warns me. It says, what the fuck do you think you're doing, arsehole? I tried arguing with it, but it always wins. Okay, that's tied up out the way now. Now I can get this disc off. First we undo the screw. And sometimes those are really tight. I was lucky these two came out quite easily. Grab your rotor and put it to one side. Now, noting that that one came off easy, the one on the other side didn't, but I'd clean all this up before you put it back on. Just makes the job a lot easier. Right, next task is let us pull these out of here, which is for the ABS. A little tough, but you want to do that so that you don't damage it, because what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be disconnecting this shock absorber from the hub and then pivoting it down. So let me give, first of all, let's give this a little squirt of PB. Give that a few moments to soak. And you will also note that on this side I've already got this bar disconnected. That probably could go back in, but I'm going to wait until I finish the whole job and then I'll do both sides at once. Right, so next is to get this undone. I'm just going to give it a few moments to soak. So let me shut you off and then we'll come back. Not sure if I mentioned it previously. The lug nuts are a 17mm. What I'm about to undo, this bit here that goes to the strut, shock, McPherson strut, whatever you like to call it, is 18mm nut and an 18mm bolt. Okay, and I'm not sure if you saw that then, but as it came undone, it dropped down slightly. So you need to lift it up a bit to get that bolt out. Put the nut and the bolt together, dump them in the tray. Now this, in theory, should just tap down. What I'm going to do though, to aid movement, grab my 12.30mm and see if we can get this axle shaft undone first. On the other side, it did not want to come undone without heat. My compressor may kick in and make some noise, so here goes. And we have the same problem this side. I'm going to have to apply some heat to it to dissolve the Loctite that is on there, the German Loctite. And once that's heated up, then hopefully it'll come undone the same as the other side did. If not, we are going to have to go to method number 2, which is the big bar. All right, with some heat, using this Map Pro. Oh, and by the way, how you get these from AutoZone, Home Depot, Pep Boys, O'Reilly's, wherever, those places. The yellow one is the hotter one. That's the one I always choose to buy. And I think you can buy the adapters there as well. This one, unfortunately, ran out, but it managed to get enough heat into that for me to get it off. Now, in theory, that should push out easily. And I wouldn't normally do this because I don't want to damage it, but this is being replaced. So there we go. That has moved. Now I need to get this to come down more, and it doesn't want to. Why doesn't it want to? Why is it being a Sapanus rectimus? Well, I'll tell you one reason is I forgot to give it some lube. All right, so I'm going to leave that to soak for a few minutes. Then all I'll do is hit it here and get it to come down. Looks as if it actually might be binding on the... Give me a second here. Oh, yeah, it's binding. Good God. There's always something, isn't there? Hey? The shaft is now binding on the on a piece of the frame there. All right, so what I'm going to have to do now is I'm going to go in there, take that shield off. Actually, you're probably not seeing that. Go in there, take that shield off, undo the flange at that end. That will allow me to lift that end of the shaft, and then I can push this out here. So that's the plan. We'll see if it works. Once I get in there and get that off, I'll start getting that off. I'll show you what I'm doing. Yeah, the other side came down easy, but the nuts were difficult to get to. This side, the shaft doesn't want to come down easy, but the nuts look relatively easy to get to. We'll see, depending on how difficult that shield is to come off. Ha ha ha. Doesn't look too bad. We'll see. We will get in there and I'll take you with me. Don't go away. Okay, underneath here, this shield, and these are 16mm. I'm going to take that shield off, and the reason I'm taking it off is to give me a little more room. It may be a little tricky what I got to do here, because I want to raise this end up so that I can drop that end down. And that is so that I can get the shaft out. Depends on how much room I've got with that exhaust. Now this shield here looks like it's a piece of plastic actually. So we'll get that off and I'll give it a clean up before I put it back on, because that's the way I do things. Okay. I don't know how much of this you're seeing, but hopefully enough for you to realise what I'm doing. I'll tell you what, talk about a ridiculous bolt to hold a piece of bloody shield of plastic. Good God. Talk about over-engineered again. I've got a little couple of 10mm bolts in there. Sheesh. Shish kebab. Yeah, that could do with a good clean. Alright, and the bolts. Bernie, the bolts. You go there. Wrench, you can go there. Alright, now my task is to undo the rest of these flange bolts. If I can turn this shaft by hand. No, probably not. So I'm going to need to get on to the other end. Aye. Yeah. And how many more have I got to do? There's 2, 3, 4. So I really want to do, if I can, undo these 2 here where they're in this position, and then turn the shaft. So let us see. Where is my little thingy? Where are you? There's one. Okay, and that goes with you. And, well, oh. Oops. Let us see. If this is going to work. It's kind of Heath Robertson. Gonna make sure you get this fucker in. Gotta get this fucker in. Gotta get this fucker. That doesn't feel in. I need me big long one. This is no good. I can't do it with this. I'm gonna have to stand up in a minute, aren't I? What's this? Oh, there we go. Look at that. All right, I can get you off of there. Get you off of there. Now, where's my little friend? There it is. Now, let's see. Okay. I just want to make sure, get that baby in there, select off. Okay, now let's see, can we, oh, there she goes. Okay, that one cracked nicely. I don't know if you're seeing this, guys. Hope so. Okay, now let's do the other one. Roll me another one, just like the other one. Don't bogart the joint, my friend. Pass it over to me. Okay, so my singing may not be good, but you get a brownie point if you can tell me what film that song was in. Don't bogart that joint, my friend. Pass it over to me. Roll another one, just like the other one. I didn't get that in, did I, you prick? Didn't get that in. That's better. So, boys and girls, have you guessed the film? Oh, it came undone. Okay, let me give you a gentle hint. It was a song, a film, probably, tricky. What years? It was, it's the 70s. And it had motorcycles in it. And starred Peter Fonda, Jack Nicholson, and oh crap, I can't remember the other guy's name. Oh, brain cell died. Oh well, if you know it, you get a bonus point. And the film was called dun, 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 Easy Rider. Oh, me and my buddy, we watched that film probably a dozen times. We were in England. We were a couple of motorcycle guys. And we thought that was the coolest thing going. The bikes were cool. I always preferred the other guy's bike, not Peter Fonda's one. Although Peter Fonda's one looked good, I just preferred the other one. And that was a great film. We figured ourselves as England's Hells Angels, and we were nothing like it. We even painted our denim jackets. And oh dear, we weren't paying attention. Talk about do a fucking typo. Instead of Hells Angels on the back, we wrote Hells Angles. I guess we were really, because there's no way we were Hells Angels. We were just a couple of guys on bikes. We liked our bikes. That was it. It was, I guess, a little of a fantasy for us. It was fun. Okay, enough of a trip down memory lane. This one doesn't want to come out easy. Why not? Why should it? Alright, we're getting there. You may want to fast forward through these things. Or if you enjoy just watching me struggle, I don't blame you. At least you know you're not the only one struggling. See, I wouldn't undo it with my fingers, but I can do it with this. How very strange. Now, can it come on with my fingers? Okay, that's those two out. Now I need to turn the shaft to get the other two. So let me go do that, and let me put all of these where they should be, in that tray, instead of sitting there. Thank you. Right. Okay, so yeah, got to rotate the shaft. Can't do it here. To get those two bolts down at the bottom. Then my theory, a theory that is mine, is that I should be able to pop that off of there, lift it up, and drop that down. Don't you love theory? All right, I'll turn you off now while I turn my shaft. I don't want you watching me turn my shaft. All right, last two to go. Then we're going to find out whether or not my theory is correct. Okay, they're both loose. Hopefully loose enough for my fingers. go. There's the shield. Cleaned it up as best I could, but it's heavily stained. I know nobody's going to see it, but I just... If I got something off, I like to keep it clean before I put it back on. Does it matter on these cars? No, but it's something I do. I like to do a good job. Others may disagree, and that's fine, each to their own. I just thought I'd knock that light on the floor. Right. And that one. Let's try again, shall we? Alright, now this. Okay, in theory, it should just come off. Oh, because it's slightly recessed, isn't it? Although the joint should compress. Oh, boy, do I wish I had two arms. There you go. Alright, so now that has actually managed to go up. Hopefully now that will allow me to pull that down. We will see, won't we? Come with me. Oh crap, I forgot to put my gloves on. Oh Jesus. What a dickhead. You know, sometimes I wonder at my own stupidity. Now this is too high. That is the only disadvantage with working at home. I mean, I know I have a huge advantage by having a 4-post lift, but that was by choice, knowing my hobby. But I didn't buy it to do a business, but I've certainly ended up doing one. All right, let's just see. Okay, here we go. That's okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that has now come down. I should now, in theory, don't think I can push that out of my hand, can I? No, it needs a little persuasion. Oh, my hammer's over the other side. And that's another bloody thing. Whenever you're working on vehicles... God, look at my bench. It's a right fucking mess. I'm sorry. Wherever your tool you want, it's always somewhere else. I'm sure there's a little gremlin that works in garages and he runs around moving shit when he knows you're going to need it. Now, boys and girls, remember the process I had to go through, process to get this fucker in. You've got to do reverse of that, you know, with the ups and down bit. So, bear that in mind. Oh dear, oh dear. What did I tell you, huh? Everything's always in the fucking way. Oh man, look at the state of this thing. Good God. Hear that? Actually, sorry, your camera's at the wrong angle. That's pretty fucking bad. Okay. Alright, boys and girls, let me just get the new one, put it, excuse me. Sorry, I've got greasy hands. I'm really not... Okay. Let's put it next to the new one. Sure, it is right. lengthwise. Gotta say, these newer ones, let's get it out. Sorry you're not getting a very good view at the moment, you'll just have to live with it. Could be worse, you could be looking at me naked. Now you don't feel so bad, do you? What's going on here? There we go. Ooh, it's got rust on it. Wow. All right, so length perfectly okay. Spline fine. Nut washer. Look at the difference in thickness of these shafts. Replacement. Now that's hollow. That's solid. I guess they figured it was cheaper to make a solid shaft than it is to do a hollow shaft, and I can see that. Yep. So this is going to be as strong, if not stronger. Weighs more though. Okay. All right, boys, girls, lovers. I think we're pretty much there. Oh, do note, yeah, my stupid little piece of tape here on the door. That reminds me, those are things that I must do before I let this car go. Got to do up the sway bar, and I've got an ABS wire. I must make sure I tuck it back into its correct place. Just a little aide memoire, as they say. No, you don't. I know. I say no, you don't. I don't think you need to see me putting all of this back together now. You know how it came apart. If you got this far, I'm sure you can put it back together. Okay, that's it. Me to finish this job now and give the customer his car back. It's probably going to take me another couple of hours or so. I do thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please do like, comment, subscribe. If you know a little trick that I don't, tell me about it. I'm more than happy to listen. Okay. And do please give me the old thumbs up. And if you're feeling remarkably generous, you could always send me money via the PayPal link and say, buy yourself a beer, Gary. And I will be more than happy to do that and to personally thank you. All right, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you need to know what the other side is like to do look at the other video. I have done them both, and they are now both published. Thank you, and now get out in that garage and do some shit.